Welcome to the Adulting Podcast. I'm Zach Peter, a naturally platinum blonde podcaster, author, and sassy self-improvement addict spewing all those burning questions you're too afraid to ask.
And I'm Abigail Fraher, an unfiltered boss babe, daylighting as a lifestyle guru, stirring the pot on social issues. We're here to help you look cute,
live well,
work hard,
and stay woke.
Together,
let's conquer adulting. Welcome back to Adulting, everybody. I'm Zach Peter.
And I'm Abigail Fraher.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you? I'm jealous of all your guys' sunlight. It's so dreary in New York today. I'm like, this light is giving me life.
We have sunlight in LA, but it's cold. I almost said cold as balls because I always say hot as balls because it was so hot over the summer. But It is so chilly. Like my nipples are so hard because it's been so cold. It's not a cute vibe.
The frames in the perfect spot. We can't see them, so we're good.
Damn it. I was hoping we could earn a few more subscribers with it. No, it's
right?
Good. It's okay.
Open it OnlyFans.
I have my spray tan. I had to do a photo shoot the other day, so I had my spray tan on and ready, and my arms are looking.
You do. You look buff. You look perfect. You're dressed for the part today, I feel.
I am. I needed to show off the guns because I'm hoping like today's guest can help me like really like tone them up so that I look so that my abs can match my arms. Because I feel like they look cute.
Let's get there.
Let's do it. Okay, today's guest is a health and wellness expert with some killer guns and some killer abs, and she's hopefully going to help me tone up my tush from the couch while we're all stuck at home. Please welcome the creator of the Jillian Michaels fitness app, Jillian Michaels.
Hi, guys. How are you?
We're doing wonderful. How are you?
Look, it's just, we're almost done with this year. What could be better than that?
Seriously, just get me to 2021, please.
But that's all I want out of life. I'm like, I just can't. Surely there's nowhere to go but up, right? It's like J.K. Rowling. It's like rock bottom.
Right.
The world has hit rock bottom. We have to have. There could be nowhere to go but up. That's my please God.
Right. You're like, please don't prove me wrong.
So I cannot complain. Doing better than most, I think.
Good. So
wonderful.
Before we dive deep, we need you to espresso yourself with us, okay? It's a fun icebreaker segment to kick off the show so we can humanize you and show people that you're not just the biggest loser Jillian that's going to yell at us.
I was totally planning on doing that, though. Does that mean don't do that?
Darn it. So I'm going to just start sentences and we're going to have you finish them for me. So the first one is I can't start my day without.
Coffee. Espresso. Period.
Perfect. Yeah. That's perfect for this.
Cannot.
Will you take your coffee?
Refuse. It depends. Sometimes I do like an organic nitro cold brew, which honestly I actually do most of the time. And then occasionally when it's like all business, I have an espresso maker and I'll just do like a triple shot. Like I need it in the morning. I need a jump start.
Play no games.
No.
Are you ever into like the bulletproof coffee? I know that was hot for a sec.
No, here's the thing with coffee. Like I'm meticulous when it comes to my caffeine. So bulletproof. Okay, let's say what I like about coffee. I want my coffee.
I love how you caught yourself there.
I was like, I don't need another lawsuit right now. I am all filled up. So coffee has to be organic. It has to. It's the most heavily sprayed edible crop in the world with herbicides, fungicides, pesticides, chemical fertilizers. And you don't think that, right? You're like, that raspberry better be organic. But the reality is it's very important. If you're going to drink coffee, it's organic. So you remove all the crap you don't get. So that's number one. And then from there, I tend to prefer a cold brew because it removes a lot of the acids and the tannins that might not be great for you. And it also has a higher amount of the polyphenols, the really good plant chemicals, right? That improve your overall health and have a host of health benefits, which we could sort of, go down a rabbit hole on. So cold brew is going to be better. Organic is going to be better. And that's really why, like, I only do espresso when I got to run out the door or something. So bulletproof is not organic, or cold brew. At least it wasn't the last time I sort of checked in on it.
Okay. That's good to know. I'm like taking all my coffee notes. I just threw my Starbucks out. We're good.
I know. Yeah,
I know.
I have a Starbucks and I have to hide it from Jillian. I'm like, she's going to call you out.
because I normally go to the organic place down the street, but today I was in a rush and I just had it brought to me, and we're done here.
I've done it too. I just try not to. Like
try not to, right?
The way to move forward with health is not to expect perfection, right? It's just to make more good choices than not so good choices, and then you're winning. That's the goal.
Yeah. The only time I get Starbucks is when I need a laxative.
Zach's like, I haven't shit in a few days. Let me grab some Starbucks. We're good.
This is what I need, right? Yeah, it's like
I know it's not going to fuel my body, but it'll detox me like an infrared sauna.
I understand.
So the next one is, I feel sexiest
when I'm like
right now
in great shape. Like honestly, when I haven't been, like, life gets a little crazy, I can manage, my level of fitness and the aesthetics of how I look by controlling my diet. Because once you are at a healthy weight, you can maintain that with just what you eat. But, you feel the difference. You feel more tired. You feel less, quite honestly, firm, less lean, less definition. I feel sexiest when I've been really consistent with my exercise regimen. And it changes your biochemistry, right? It's going to boost your libido inherently. So when I'm really consistent with my regimen and have been super focused on my self-care and like take all my vitamins and everything, that's when I'm like, I look good. I feel good. That's when I'm my best.
Amazing. And then the next one is, I feel like, a very loaded question for you. It's when we have workout because of COVID, or when I go to the gym,
Okay. When I work out is the one, or because right now, I'm like LA.
So are you in the gym or no? Okay. So, cause LA gyms are still closed. So when you're working out, what are you doing? Are you watching yourself on TV following those videos?
I know, right? No, I can't stand. I literally want to punch myself in the face. I'm like, oh my God, shut up. So I can't. What I do like to do is I started jumping rope a lot during COVID. And it's just fresh for me. It's something different that I had not often done. So improving that is kind of fun for me. And I'll watch like the jump rope dudes on YouTube. And there's this kid whose name I don't want to get wrong that I'm obsessed with. If you want to see like an amazing athlete, he's like the world champion jump roper, this guy.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, literally, dude, check this guy out on Instagram. I watch him and then try to do like 1/100th of what this kid can do. But his name is Ridge Robson. I swear to God, he's like this young, handsome guy who can do the craziest crap you've ever seen in your life. Like backflips with the jump rope, and just, he's like,
I'm
amazing.
looking him up right now.
Yeah. Like, so I like watch this stuff. Like, it's kept me kind of entertained during COVID. Is like something fresh, something new for my brain. I'll ride my road bike when the weather's nice, but like I'll do jump rope intervals and then push-ups, squats, lunges, then jump rope intervals, then handstand wall sit, then jump rope intervals and Superman and burpees, So all the typical body weight stuff, but I work the jump rope in when I feel kind of lazy. Like, it's like that machine at the gym, that you used to kind of turn to. So I've been working that in, and it's new, it's fresh. It keeps me kind of entertained, and I get to learn something new. As a teacher, I think the best teacher is the best student. So I'm always looking for like fresh young people to teach me something new about, could be jump roping, could be yoga. I need to be constantly stimulated when it comes to fitness.
Are you on TikTok? I feel like that's the most stimulating thing. Like, I feel like they've got to have some cool workout. Zach, you would know. Do they have some cool workout stuff on there?
They do. I don't do them, but they do.
Right?
They have like challenges. They have where they like do them to the song. Yeah, I know. Because one of the trainers that we have here like was trying to get me to do one, and it was like a push-up challenge. I'm like, do I look like I do 100 push-ups a day, sir?
100 push-ups.
Yeah, and it was like because the song was like up, down, up, down. So he's like, you have to move with the song. So you go like up, down, hold, up, down, hold. It was a very intense workout.
100 times.
Yeah,
that sounds awful. That sounds awful.
Oh,
I was like, I'm not at that level yet.
No, I'm definitely not doing that on TikTok.
No. So our final question is, or our final sentence is, I feel most like a boss when Another loaded question for you.
God. I feel like most like a boss. Shit. Oh God. Once I had kids, I stopped feeling like a boss. ever. There was never a boss moment.
You're like, no.
They just crush me. When do I feel most like a boss? Oh, okay. You
got it.
Okay. I have taken up something called jet surfing. I don't know if you've seen this. It's like a motorized surfboard, and it's so much fun. And I'm pretty good at it. Not gonna lie. I'm pretty amazing. So
the way you even said it, like, even if I didn't know that you were, you convinced me. You're like, yeah.
I'm really good. I think I'm really good. Yeah. Like I can do the full, like, drag the hand in the water and the 360. Like, I feel like a boss when I'm on my jet surf. Like, definitely anything extreme sports.
Okay.
That I'm somewhat okay at. I feel like a boss doing stuff like that. Like jumping a horse or, that stuff makes me feel like a boss for sure. I love doing stuff like that.
I love that.
Okay, how many of you have caught yourselves going on TikTok for 2 seconds only to waste an entire hour of your life? Yet we say we don't have time to work on ourselves. Well, not anymore thanks to Blinkist. Blinkist is for anyone who cares about learning but doesn't have a lot of time, like me. Blinkist takes the key ideas and insights from over 4,000 nonfiction bestsellers in more than 27 categories and gathers them together in 15-minute recaps. That's it. 15 million people are already using Blinkist to broaden their knowledge, so why aren't you? They even have links for those long AF podcasts. You know I'm a self-improvement addict, which is why I love the efficiency of banging out books without spending hours on end trying to finish them. On my list this week, I have Trey Gowdy's Doesn't Hurt to Ask, using the power of questions to communicate, connect, and persuade, and Dr. David Ludwig's Always Hungry. Very fitting for 2020. Right now, Blinkist has a special offer just for our audience. Go to Blinkist.com/adulting to start your free 7-day trial and get 25% off a Blinkist premium membership. That's Blinkist, spelled BLINKIST, Blinkist.com/adulting to get 25% off and a 7-day free trial. Blinkist.com/adulting. Right now, everybody, it's been a really crazy year, and I feel like most of us have spent most of the year on our couch and post-mating it up. What advice have you been giving to some of your clients for staying active if we've maybe slipped up a little or maybe weren't sticking to our meal plans or weren't sticking to our workout plans with the gyms closed? Like, what are you telling, some of your clients for staying in shape or just feeling healthy?
It's a different message for each individual. You know what I'm saying? So it's like with individuals like yourself, because you're young, you're healthy, you're fit. If you came to me and you're like, oh my God, Jill, like I'd rather be dead. I have fallen off of my routine. I would ask you a little bit about like, what did you used to do? What do you miss the most? Because it's not that people are lazy. People are not lazy. They're feeling overwhelmed. They're feeling depressed. There's obviously more going on. So if you were like, oh, I used to take this dance class downtown with all these cool people, I would try to figure out like, all right, who is your favorite dance instructor? Maybe we could get a bunch of friends on Zoom and you guys do the class together. I would look at what you're lacking and try to help implement that for you. Now, if it's an individual that's like 40s and they're making excuses and they, the same old crap, right? Like, I don't have the time and the kids and the this and the that. I would literally look at them and say, if ever there was a moment to decide what your priorities were, if this year did not make health your top priority, I don't know what will. I literally do not know what will. I mean, we know for a fact that physical fitness, eating right it does everything for you. It boosts your immunity. It boosts your sex drive. It boosts your energy level. It's going to protect you from shit like COVID. I mean, it just is. Like, people can get really mad about it. They can get as mad as they want to be, but there is insurmountable, like you cannot deny the research that if you are obese, you are far more likely to have a more severe case of COVID or a potentially fatal case of COVID. No, I would simply say to those individuals, like, if you want to find a silver lining in this hellish year, make it that you took the meaning out of this to turn your health and fitness around. You took the downtime to focus on self-care. And I don't care if I need to scare people into it or inspire them into it. I will do whatever it takes, depending on the person, to give them that jump start.
What do you think prevents them? Because I mean, I can look at it from my own analysis and I can see that like sometimes it's out, not even 2020. It's just people often look for reasons to be miserable if they're addicted to misery, you know? Whereas like for myself, I had those moments where I did go a little stir crazy and I did feel a little in a slump, but I've always been that type of person that's going to be like, I'm not going to let this take over my day. I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to do the things that I know make me feel good so that I can get out of this funk. But what about people that do retreat to kind of falling into the excuses? How do people like that, how do you motivate them? Or do you just say, you know what, not my circus, not my monkeys?
I mean, look, I liken myself to a vampire, which is kind of like not my circus, not my monkeys. If they don't invite me in,
you don't say anything.
I don't get involved. Yeah, it's like it's none of my business. However, what you said is, I know this is going to make me feel better, right? Well, for so many that are like, oh my God, the day sucked and I'm exhausted and I'm stressed about money and my kids are not in school or who knows what's going. There's no camp, there's no school, there's no that. They're just overwhelmed across the board. In some cases, it feels just like more punishment, right? You're like, I would rather be dead than get up and do 30 minutes of working out if they don't love it. Some people love it. I actually don't like working out. I like what it does for me, right? But I hate it. There's never a moment where I'm doing lunges that I'm like, oh yeah,
I love this.
This is good shit. Yeah, that never. Now, like if I'm walking up the stairs the other day and I'm like, oh, my quads feel strong, right? Then yes, I love that feeling. Or if I'm on my jet surf and my kids are like, my mom's such a badass, I love that feeling. And that's the why. So this is where you've got to help people gain perspective. So work with a purpose becomes passion, right? Work without purpose just feels more punishing, and people feel punished by this year. So it's helping them identify the ways in which healthy activity will make them feel good down the road. So in the moment, it might not, right? But what is it that you want? What's your why? Do you want to wear a 2-piece instead of a 1-piece? Do you want to feel more comfortable having sex with the lights on? Do you want to live to meet your great-grandchildren? Do you want to raise money for breast cancer research because you lost a beloved family member? It doesn't matter. It does not matter how superficial, how profound your answer, as long as it matters to you. And that's when you're like, ugh, the day's been shitty, but you know what? I'm going to feel so good at the end of this week when I know I got in 4 20-minute sessions or 4 30-minute sessions, and I look better, I feel better, I have more energy, I'm feeling more confident. It's about helping them find, oh, sorry guys. This is the
I have one too.
At home. I have 2 of them. Hey, excuse me. Oh, you done?
He's like, excuse you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay. And they insist on being in the office with me. I'm like, go outside now. So you think I'm talking about my kids, but in fact, it is 2 dogs. So that really is part of it, is helping them identify something they're passionate about so that work has a purpose and becomes passion instead of just feeling like punishment.
I know for me, it's, look, I'll show you, I'm probably going to fuck up my angle. I have all of downtown right outside my window right here. So I just want to feel confident to have sex in the windows where they can be like, damn,
lights on
I want to watch you some more.
They can look at those biceps and be like, ooh, baby.
Exactly. So, that's a good reason.
Right? That's
a great reason. I like it. Yeah, exactly.
On the same token with working out, obviously diet comes very much into play too, if not more important, necessary, or are they even? Is it more important? Okay. And how do we get back on track with that?
All right. So the first thing is, it depends on what you're trying to achieve. So for example, if you're trying to lose weight, fitness is far more important because it's an energy equation, right? It's calories in versus calories out. And anyone who tells you that it isn't is just a fucking liar. I'm sorry. It's not a take. It is a scientific fact. It's called the law of thermodynamics. I promise you, it's irrefutable. So now, some people burn more calories over the course of their day, genetically, metabolically speaking, but nevertheless, right? It's still going to be calories in, calories out. So let's say Jillian wants to lose 10 pounds And I go on Google and I look up, what is my base metabolic rate? And it's like, oh, Jillian, you burn 1,200 calories a day. And then I kind of factor in my activity level, which is a bit of a longer conversation. But over the course of my day, I look at my active metabolic rate without exercise. And let's say it's 1,600 calories, which is pretty much where I am. Well, let's say I ate 1,400 calories that day. I'm going to be hungry as hell. I might have had like a stick of broccoli, a speck of dust, some air souffle for a snack, like boiled chicken for dinner. I'm at 1,400 calories. I want to tear my hair out. And I only burned 200 calories that day. Well, if there's 3,600 calories in a pound, right? I need to have a deficit of 3,600. It's going to take me about 18 days to lose 1 pound. So then I'm like, diets don't work. This is bullshit. It doesn't work. This is where exercise is crucial, because that 1,600 that I'm burning goes up to 2,600, right? So now I'm burning, what is that? 2,600 to 14. I'm burning 1,200 calories in a day. And in 3 days, I'm going to lose a pound, not 18 days. Okay. So when it comes to weight loss, yes, you don't want to overeat. That's very important. But if you want to actively see that come off at an accelerated pace, you've got to move your body. You have to. Now, weight maintenance is all food. So it's like if I'm burning 1,600 calories a day and I'm eating 1,600 calories a day, I'm not going to get bigger or smaller. We're not talking about health, though, right? We're talking about my size.
Sure.
Exercise is the number one form of preventative medicine, but size. If I don't overeat, I am not going to get any bigger. And then conversely, if I say a man, because I very rarely hear women say, I want to pack on the muscle, but let's say man or woman, right? I don't need to be like a sexist here. I don't care who you are. You want to pack on muscle, great. You got to eat a lot more. It's the inverse relationship of weight loss. So it's still all about the food, but to make it not fat, you've got to work out. So those calories get partitioned into remodeling bone, growing muscle, and so on. So that's still more like 70 food, 30 fitness, so that it turns into muscle instead of fat. Okay. Now, health, totally different conversation. So health is about the quality of the food you're eating, and of course, being active. So at that point, I would really put those two things, a little more food, maybe 60-40, 60 food, 40 fitness, because exercise is, honest to God, the things it does for your body, your overall health, your immunity, your microbiome, your mood, all of it, your energy level, your libido, your hormone balance nothing can compare in large part. It's the number one form of preventative medicine.
So in response to what you said about calories, so I saw this video on Instagram the other day, and I don't know if you're familiar with Max Lugavere. He wrote a book called The Genius Life. And so he was talking about calories and how the argument with calories is you can't just count 1,400 calories in a day, because calories are technically different depending on the types of food that you're eating.
Your face. Oh, I'm ready. Give us the tea.
They are when it comes to your health.
Okay.
They are. But they're not. I mean, I could show you studies.
The name of the video is Counting Calories Makes You Fat.
No, it just doesn't. There's a fantastic TED Talk by a biochemist. It's called The Mathematics of Weight Loss.
Okay.
Watch it. I mean, he breaks down the biochemistry of it for you. Health, yes. And over time, could we make an argument that the quality of your food affects your microbiome, right? Which could affect your metabolism. It affects your hormone balance, which can affect your metabolism, but it's over the course of years. And it's like, it's like Jillian's base metabolic rate is 1,300. And then let's say I ate all garbage all the time. I might lower it to 1,100 because I screwed up my thyroid a little bit, or my estrogen levels are too high, or I messed up my microbiome, and we do know that it has an impact on the rate of our metabolism. But I promise you, there are studies of like there was one called the food desert study, and this guy ate only food desert stuff, but he ate less of it, and he lost 27 pounds. I mean, and he was a biochemist, I believe. Like, it just is. Now, is it healthy?
Sure.
No, it's not. I mean, you can be 125 pounds and have like an extremely high percentage of body fat and have, you can be diabetic. You could have precancerous cells. You could be a car crash because you're eating complete shit. But weight, no. Size, no. And you could even argue, well, this doesn't apply because Zach is going to burn 2,000 calories a day, Jill, and you're burning 1,300. It still applies. It just means Zach gets to eat more than I do. But the math is still the same. It just
Lucky
is.
Zach.
I mean, and it's like I feel like I've evidenced this over and over and over and over. Like, how many years do I need to give? It's like, here's all the before and afters. I mean, it just, that is the science of it. But watch the mathematics of weight loss on TED. The guy is amazing, and he will literally break down the science for you. It's very straightforward.
All right.
That's like, how much more proof do we need from Jillian?
I promise
tell
you, talk to any endocrinologist, biochemist. Like, it just is
the science of it.
I don't want anyone to do that. It's terrible for you. But to a certain extent, and part of the reason it's dangerous to say that is because, one, the people are like, this doesn't work. And it does. And it's the only way forward is eating less food and moving more often. Would I love to add like eating less food and making it really good quality food? Of course. Yes. But then someone will say to you, well, I live in a food desert and this isn't available, so I'm fundamentally disempowered. Well, if all there is a McDonald's and they're going to get like the grilled chicken sandwich instead of the triple Big Mac with big, whatever, the Coke and all this stuff, like less calories, less energy going in the body. It just is. And it's like, there are literally dozens of studies that illustrate this point, and any biochemist worth their salt could teach it to you in about 5 minutes in a way that you'd be like, okay, this is irrefutable. It just is irrefutable.
So we saw earlier this year or a couple months ago, mainly over the summer, we had a lot of influencers that kind of made some headlines. I think most notably Tanya Zuckerbot, who created the F Factor. And then we had Teddi Mellencamp from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, who created All In by Teddi. They created these programs for people to either be more accountable, or they had like diet programs that they had for their clients. And so we saw them kind of come under fire because there was a reporter, I think her name was Emily Gellis, who said that these types of diet programs or accountability programs are really dangerous because they are very restrictive. And when it comes to weight loss, restriction isn't healthy. And I know you've kind of definitely dealt with your own feedback from the internet and from reporters.
Sure. It depends. So restriction, first of all, it depends on the person. So if I've got a guy who, and the level of restriction. So like, what is restriction? Like these are the floors. Like if I have a person that is morbidly obese, I can put them at 1,200 calories with unlimited greens, and they'll move them, they'll be fine, right? Like, and a guy, like a woman there and a man at like 1,400 at the absolute lowest, really more like 1,600. And women more at 1,400. But if we had to be like, what's the floor? Like, what is the absolute lowest? 1,200 and 1,400 if they're morbidly obese with unlimited phytonutrients, greens, right? Okay. So health-wise, they will be fine there. Now, psychologically speaking, it's totally different. It depends on the person. So I might have an individual come to me and say like, look, I need results and I need them fast. I need to be motivated. I need to be inspired. I need to see it working. In which case I'm going to be like, all right, let's kick your ass. Let's drop those calories down and let's get 5 pounds off you this week. It's going to be a lot more work and a lot more restricted, but they'll be perfectly fine, perfectly healthy, and they'll get crazy fast results. Now, another person might be like, I can't live like this, and it's triggering me big time. I hate this, and it's making me want to go get a pizza. In that case, I'll be like, all right, no problem. We're going to use the simple math here. All right. Let's do this nice and slow. We're going to lose 1 pound to 1.5 pounds a week. That means we only need to burn 3,500 extra calories a day. That's only 500 calories. So I might say, all right, let's do the math, right? Here's the math on you. You're burning 1,800 calories. If we can get a little activity in there, we can get you to 2,000, we put you at 1,500, or we can make it go as slow as it needs to go to keep them consistent. But it depends on the person. So as long as you're not like, oh, they're on 500 calories a day and they're taking, goat hormone, or remember the HCG diet, how stupid that was, or we've put them on a juice cleanse and they're not eating any real food, and anything like that is bad, because it will actually mess up your metabolism, and it'll cause something called refeeding syndrome. So, which basically means you're going to put it all back on and then some, which is that concept of yo-yo dieting. But if you've set those minimums to where I told you, and you're having them exercise at least 4 times a week for about 20 to 30 minutes, that won't be the problem. Then it's a head game.
Okay.
And you got to deal with the person.
So you've had this kind of fitness empire for a long time. Do you have any advice to some of these influencers like Teddi or Tanya that, are kind of creating these programs that are gaining popularity and then they're getting a lot of criticism? Like, if they really believe in the programs, is this like a time to pivot? Is it a time to, retreat?
Sure. I don't know. Unfortunately, I don't know anything about them. So like, are they registered dietitians, or are they certified nutritionists?
No. They have opinions.
Okay, no. Then this is where, everything I do, every book I've ever written, every DVD that might be slightly out of my wheelhouse, I will go get an individual who I believe to be one of the top experts in the field. So if I created a postnatal workout DVD, I got Andrea RHOBH, who's one of the foremost pregnancy fitness experts in the space, to do that DVD with me. She's there. She co-created the program. I wrote a book about pregnancy fitness and postnatal fitness, and I had an OBGYN, a pediatrician, an endocrinologist, a pregnancy fitness specialist, a registered dietitian. Like I make sure that every single thing I put out in the world is heavily vetted, backed by research through the roof, that I can say, look, because people will come for me all day long, whether it's
no matter what you do,
vegan, but I don't ever put information out there that is not 100%, at least as far as we've advanced right now with our knowledge of nutrition and fitness, that is not 100% on point. So they might turn around and say, oh, you know what? Women can lie on their back in trimester number 2, that could change. But as of right now, all that I do is ironclad. That's where it's kind of like, come at me. You want to talk keto? I will blow you out of the water. I know everything about it. Why? Because I wrote a whole book about anti-aging, and I had a bunch of different experts show me it's one of the worst things you can do for longevity. So it's, these women they're not nutritionists, they're not registered dietitians. It sounds like they're not certified fitness experts, and it doesn't sound like they got all of those individuals behind their program. And I could very well be wrong. I don't know, but it doesn't sound like they did. So this is where I would say, look, get out of your lane. You don't see me commenting on politics. I don't understand half of these policies. I'm not an economist. I didn't go to school to study foreign policy. You know what I mean? Like, that's not my lane.
But I feel like just having a Twitter account makes you credible in any field, right? No?
Right? Doesn't it?
I would love that. If only, I would say stay in your lane. And when you're in your lane, do your work.
Yeah.
Right.
Do the work so that when they come for you, you can literally just be like,
I love that. Gotcha.
It's just, I'm like, all right, let's go. It was like with Keto, Al Roker and Andy, I was like, great, let's have this debate. Gone, vanished, bye-bye, gone. Anybody who want paleo, vegan, I mean, bring it. So you have to do your work and be prepared in order to put something out there in the world that has staying power and that delivers on the results. So I don't know anything about those two programs, but if they don't have the credentials to go out there and put something in the space, or they didn't get the individuals with the credentials to do that, then you're setting yourself up to get attacked, of course.
100%. With getting your insight on a few of those diets, what do you think about, intermittent fasting? What do you think about fasted workouts? What is because that's huge right now. Yes, tell us.
Okay. So intermittent fasting, and at first it's important to define what that is, right? So there are different takes on this diet, but there's the 16-8, which means we don't eat for 16 hours and we compress our food into an 8-hour window. And then there's less intense variations of that can kind of default to a 12-12, which is generally where I live, because if I get past hour 12, I tend to overeat when I do eat. I get overly hungry. I don't have the discipline for it. There are certain cheats of people who will, God, I don't want to get too technical on you, but if you're just consuming pure fat, then you're not triggering these metabolic pathways that will switch off the anti-aging benefits. So protein and carbohydrates will trigger certain metabolic pathways that will then stop some of the benefits you get from intermittent fasting, but fat doesn't. So a lot of guys will cheat that window because they're like, well, at 12 hours, I'll have the butter coffee or the whatever it might be. But for me, I'm like, why do I want to add 300 calories?
Right.
No, like I look at both sides of it and I decide that adding 300 calories every single day over the course of the week, which is it's 2 pounds a month in butter coffee, like pass. You know what I mean? I don't want to do it. I'll take a 12-hour window. Now, the benefit of this intermittent fasting, right, is this period of a 24-hour day where we're not eating, not to be confused with calorie deprivation. Two totally separate things. Can they intersect? Sure, they can, but they are not the same thing. So if I'm eating 1,800 calories a day, I'm just packing that 1,800 into an 8-hour window instead of a 12-hour window or a 1,600-hour window. Now, if eating only 8 hours makes me skip a meal, that second dinner that I would have had, so now I'm not eating 1,800, I've gone down to 1,500. I've cut calories unintentionally, then yeah, you will lose weight, but that is not the benefit of intermittent fasting. So intermittent fasting actually has to do with housekeeping and longevity. So it's a bit more complicated, but it benefits a group of our sirtuins, which are longevity genes, and it triggers the body to essentially do housekeeping with regard to kind of culling dead and senescent tissue. So it's great for longevity, anti-aging, immunity, cellular regeneration. That's what it's really good for. Now, fasted cardio, no. So the idea there is that if we don't have any available blood sugar, we will then go into our fat stores more quickly. Okay, so God, I feel like I need a little blackboard for you to try to explain this. Because it basically, the idea here is that it isn't about fat calories versus glucose and glycogen, which is blood sugar and sugar stored in the muscles, and all of this, or sugar is kind of like, think of it as fuel, right? Blood sugar, glucose, glycogen stored in the muscles and so on. Okay. First of all, to get rid of all the glucose and the glycogen, it would take a lot longer than a 12-hour window. Okay. But second of all, let's presume you did. So now you're going to do steady state cardio, which is far less efficient than HIIT training, resistance training, metabolic conditioning. You're going to have a more intense workout when you have some energy, you're fed. So if I do a 30-minute workout and I ate a little something and I'm doing HIIT training and resistance training and metabolic circuits and all this stuff, and I burn 500 calories over 30 minutes. So more calories while I'm working out and an elevated metabolic rate from something called EPOC, which basically just means you've got to return your body to a pre-lactate state and what it requires to heal from the workout, rebuild, repair, elevates your metabolic rate. The more elevated it is, has to do with how hard you trained, how long you trained, and so on. So let's say 30 minutes, I ate a little something, I've got energy, I went bananas. I burned 500 calories. I do 30 minutes, I didn't eat anything, and I am kind of weak, but I'm like doing my fasted cardio and I burned 200. Maybe 250. First of all, any glucose and glycogen that doesn't get burned gets turned into fat anyway. It has to do with the total amount of calories burned. But even if we were to say that's bullshit, Jill, you're wrong, I deny it. Okay, fine. The ratio of fat to sugar calories will be greater when you have less food available, okay? But you can only do steady state cardio because you'll only burn fat if your body is being less efficient. If your body needs to be efficient, It needs more fuel immediately, which are higher intensity workouts that burn more calories, get you fitter faster during the workout and after it's over. So let's say it's 65% fat, 35% sugar, but you only burn 200 calories. We'd have to do the math, but what's 65% of 200? What are we looking at? Like 130 or something like that? 130 fat calories?
Yeah.
Now let's say we're high intensity training and we burn 500 calories, but instead of like 65-35, it's 50-50, 50 fat, 50 sugar. It's still 250 calories worth of fat and 250 calories worth of glucose. It's still not only more calories overall, gets you fitter faster, is better for the body, but it's also more fat calories regardless because you've burned more overall calories. So I know this need like a little blackboard for me to do the math for you, but to make a very long story short, don't bother. It's inefficient and unnecessary.
Don't do intermittent fasting with cardio.
You don't need to. No, do your intermittent fasting.
No fasted cardio.
But when you...
Okay, but what if I do... Okay, because I do intermittent fasting with HIIT training. Is that good or is that bad?
Are you doing your HIIT training on an empty stomach?
Yes.
Oh, bad. That's what she said. No more fast. Stop. Eat before you work out.
Tell me something. When you're doing it, how do you feel? Amazing?
I mean, I feel pretty, I drink a lot of coffee and I'm like, I make it through the workout.
Would you work out more intensely if you had a little something to eat like 45 minutes before?
Maybe.
Try that.
Okay.
Because
eat something like a full breakfast or like a protein shake or a protein bar. Like what is good? Okay.
Don't worry about wrapping your food around your fitness. So put your food on a schedule. The way I do it is, let's say I do a 12-hour window, right? So I'll eat at, let's say, 8 in the morning. And then 3 hours later, sometimes 3 to 4, I'll have either lunch or a snack. 3 to 4 hours later, I have either lunch or a snack, depending upon, which one I did earlier. So if I had a snack, then I'll have lunch. If I had lunch, then I'll have a snack. And then 3 to 4 hours later, I have dinner and I'm done eating by 8 p.m. I don't eat until 8 in the morning. If I get up and I have a little something to eat, I'm not training again I'm not probably like, and now I'm going to start. Usually it's like I get up, I eat something, I have a coffee, I check my email, I take my kids to school, I feed the dogs. It's usually like a good 45 minutes to an hour before I'm even a part of the world, after I've like fed every creature in my household, children included, or checked the emails, checked the news. So generally speaking, if you eat something, wait 45 minutes before you work out, because all of the blood's going to your stomach and we don't want to get cramps, and we want to circulate the blood to deliver oxygen and nutrients to the muscles. That's the golden rule. And then unless you're bodybuilding and you're like, I need to get more branched chain aminos and I need more protein, like you don't need to really, honestly, you don't need to be like, and now I got to have a protein shake and it's like, eat on that schedule, build your workout into it. And you'll find that like, okay, if I got up and I ate at 8 and let's say I worked out at 9:30, okay, and then I worked out till 10:30, I'm probably going to then rinse off, or 9:30 to 10, I'm going to rinse off and then go get something to eat anyway. So it kind of inherently just falls into balance. You don't need to overthink it.
Okay.
I like that. Last question on intermittent fasting. Does it slow down your metabolism if you're not eating? Okay.
No, because you are eating.
But like during the fast, I guess.
Not at all. The only time that fasting would slow down your metabolism is over a period of time where your body's like, holy shit, we're dying. Like literally, there is no food. So what it will do, because your body is what's called a dynamic homeostasis. So your environment and your stimulus, your lifestyle is always changing, right? So your body's like, oh my God, clearly food is really scarce. I've got to adapt to that. Now your metabolism is your biochemistry, right? So surely you've heard like, well, cortisol is the belly fat hormone and HGH makes me young and boosts my metabolism, right? You do know this. Thyroid hormone, oh, I've got a thyroid problem and I have a hard time losing the last 10 pounds. Like you do know, without even realizing that metabolism is your biochemistry. So if I've got no food for a long period of time, my body will shift my biochemistry and change my hormone balance to say like, all right, you know what? Whoa, let's slow down the HGH. Let's slow down all these androgenic hormones, testosterone and so on. Let's up the cortisol. We got to increase leptin, which is a hunger hormone. Everything, it will shift completely to go into storage mode because your body is like, I need fat to insulate my vital organs. I need fat because I'm starving. Muscle can go, bone can go. All that stuff requires energy anyway. So that's where you get into real trouble, is when you are starving your body. You do real damage. That's why things like the master cleanse and juice cleanses and all of that stuff are so bad for you and totally unnecessary. And you can't starve the weight off anyway. The math isn't there. It just isn't. You'll get a couple pounds a week and then screw up your metabolism, put it all back on, and then some. It's not worth it.
I just got so much info.
So you also have the Jillian Michaels Fitness app. Is there a specific type of client that you designed this app for, or is it something that we can all really utilize while we're all stuck at home and some of us have gyms that are closed?
The goal with the app was to quite literally be a one-stop shop for fitness, health, and wellness. So we looked at it and we were like, all right, you've got Hulu, you've got Amazon, you've got HBO, you've got Netflix. It's ridiculous. And it's overwhelming to people. So if this app has mindfulness, we now added like 20 different meditations. And now that's going to be a huge component of our app. So we're getting a couple of individuals who specialize in it and we're having them record all these meditations, right? So there's that, no matter who you are. And it could be 5 minutes of chill. It could be balancing your chakras. If you're showing up for that, we want you to find whatever you need there. And I say we because I have a business partner who is in large part responsible for a lot of the success of what we do. Even though I do the programming and the fitness, he's really good at the business side. So, okay, great. Now, let's say you want audio workouts. Let's say you want indoor workouts. You want outside workouts. You want in the gym workouts. Have it. You want yoga? Got it. You want kickboxing? Done. You want kettlebells, booty bands, slides, no equipment, running workouts, walking workouts, stair workouts, prenatal workouts, ab programs, glute programs. It's designed to literally be a one-stop shop for fitness, food. We have registered dietitians who create every meal plan in the app. And even though sometimes I don't love them, we do have them. So we have vegan, keto, paleo, gluten-free, omnivore, pescatarian, vegetarian, quick and easy. Because if someone wants it, the goal is to take the science and say, okay, if we're going to create keto, let's make it mostly plant-based. Let's make it 30-day jumpstart only. I had Dr. Josh Axe write it for me because I trust him completely. And, it's all organic. How can we take this diet and make it as healthy as possible? But still give somebody who's like, no, I really want to try it. It's like, even though I'm like, I really would love for you to do the omnivore plan. But that's the goal, is that you show up and you tell me who you are and what you want, and then it's all customized for you.
Love it.
Going there right now.
And
I'll make sure that you get subscriptions. I'll have that taken care of when we're done.
And
oh my gosh, thank you.
It's available is it just for iPhone, or it's available in the App Store and Android?
Both. Yes. Both.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So whether you get the blue iMessages or the green text messages, it doesn't matter. You can download it.
We got you.
We got you. I love it. Thank you so much, Jillian, for calling in.
Oh, it's my pleasure, guys. Thank you for having me. And I will make sure to get you those app subs so you can try it out and have a little fun with it.
Oh my gosh, thank you. Yes, we would love that.
Abigail has a gym in New York. I don't have a gym here in LA.
You know what though? They're talking about closing it down again. So and there's gym routine, like there's fitness routines on the app. So I'm gonna get like a new little routine going.
We shot. It's so funny. We actually went into a gym and shot like every piece of equipment in the gym, right? Because I was like,
oh my gosh,
when we come out of this, I want to be like back to the gym, and then it's like, walk over to the lat pull down. It's like I could literally be your trainer in the gym, and then the world is just never going to open. So we held the in gym stuff to try to be sensitive to but we do have audio workouts for different cardio pieces. outdoor workouts, walking, running, jogging programs, indoor workouts, equipment, no equipment, all of that. But in the coming months, I would say spring of 2021, there will be a full gym personal training section of the app when we can go back to the gym.
As a country.
It wouldn't be like, you bitch, people are dying. So we decided to hold it for just a few months.
Save the bad PR for another.
We're going to, we're trying to be a little more sensitive to that. So it'll just be a really fun announcement when gyms reopen. That's kind of the goal.
Yes. Oh my gosh, amazing.
And
anyway,
Jillian,
thank you so much.
What are your social handles so people can go and give you a follow?
Yes. Oh, thank you. At Jillian Michaels.
Easy.
Cross board.
Easy. That's it.
I love it. You guys can follow me at Just Plain Zack all over the internet.
All over the internet.
All over.
And you can follow me at Abigail _AF.
And don't forget to follow at The Adulting Podcast so you stay up to date with the latest show news and get fun exclusive clips from the show. And, you're supporting us because we love that support. And don't forget to subscribe and give us a 5-star review because we love that validation. 5 stars only.
5 stars only. Nothing less.
Nothing less.
Don't even consider anything else. Don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick. See, Jillian even said, don't be a dick.
Don't be a Karen. All right, guys. Until next time, we'll be
#adulting.
Okay, and we're out.